everyone. Welcome back to the Love Beneath podcast. I'm your host, Minazia Sheikh Al-Islami. Thank you so much for being here. This show is all about spiritual tips, tricks, wisdom, musings, and channeled messages. Before I get started, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, comment. If you're listening to the show on a podcast platform, please follow the show and leave me a review. I would so appreciate it. So the message today really feels like, this is just coming from the deepest place in my soul where I connect to source. You know what's right and you know what's true. Your heart knows it. And there are times where we think we know what is true and then we get new information. So I also want to speak to that. But just because you have changed your mind on something doesn't mean that you weren't in truth back when you had a different idea. Things change, the earth changes, the world changes. So I'm just getting this message of you don't need to find the absolute truth of something because sometimes it's just not able to be seen yet, or where we're at in the spiritual process, we can't see it yet. So the message is more, what is true to you in this moment, and stay with it and stay with yourself, because we're going through a very difficult period where we are trying to find grounding and security in a world that feels like it has gone haywire and totally out of control. So we're trying to find safety while also helping other people and seeing what we can do to make the world a better place. As we're trying to find that grounding, though, we are also evolving. So it's this really tough thing where you want to be rooted, but how can you be rooted in yourself when you're constantly seeing new versions of you and truer versions of you, and you're going in and in and in and in? How can we find grounding in that, in something that is always changing? And I think this is part of the invitation for, my throat. You know what that means. Let's go a little deeper. The message here is you're trying to find safety in the known. You're trying to find grounding in something that is familiar and true. The invitation is to find safety and security in the unknown, in the ever-changing. And to be able to do that, you have to go deeper than this physical reality. And this is why having a daily spiritual practice is so important. Because how can you make peace with the unknown? How can you make peace with a world that's always changing and with change and with uncertainty unless you have a deeper understanding of safety and security beyond this physical reality? So I invite each and every one of you, and I'm doing this too, to see if you can let go of the belief that you need to find safety in the knowing. So what I mean by that is a lot of times when people come to see me for a reading, they just want clarity on the future. They want clarity on the situation. They want clarity. I want to know what's going on with this situation. And sometimes I can see it very clearly. I can reflect it back. And sometimes truly the message is this situation in and of itself is nothing. Not really. It's only appearing to you so that you can learn how to accept what you don't understand, accept what you don't know, the uncertainty, you don't know what's going to happen. Can you actually embrace and have an open heart toward what is the unknown? I am feeling that invitation for a lot of you. And it's really, really hard. And for me, as I've been navigating this myself, the only thing that has helped me is to completely surrender to my connection to source that I feel very strongly inside me. And many of you comment and ask, how do you build your connection? How did you do it? It's extreme bravery. It's extreme bravery. It's the bravest thing you'll ever do to connect to this energy that is true, and you can feel it all around you, and you feel the power in it, but you don't see it and with your eyes. And of course you can make an argument that you see it everywhere because everything is source and all of that. But if we're talking about in a situation that's unpredictable or we don't know what's going to happen, finding safety in connection to source in that moment is really hard, because what your eyes are seeing is one thing, but your knowingness is another. And so I feel that we are journeying down into ourselves, and I've said this so many times, but today it really felt strong to come out. Can you sit in the understanding that everything you see with your physical eyes is the past? The same way with the cosmos. We see stars right now. Those stars could be completely not there anymore. But because light is traveling at the speed that it's traveling at, we don't know that yet. They're so far away. So whatever we view is actually not happening in real time from the vantage point of that heavenly body, but from the speed at which the light is hitting our eyes. And it is the same thing with working with energy. You will feel the energy before you're going to see the manifestation of that energy in our physical reality. And I really do believe that we are the masters of our universe. And I think that the most masterful thing you can do is to trust. And I think that's where various interdimensional energies kind of got lost, especially ones that came to conquer this planet. And I see this all the time when I do Akashic record readings for people, and they've had past lives as Anunnaki, reptilians, whatever. And not all of them are nefarious, but whatever nefarious entity, I always see that the one thing they hate is karma. Because karma has no king, karma has no god. There is nothing above karma. Karma is, and karma cannot be changed, it cannot be moved, it cannot be manipulated. And there are so many energies out there that want to control everything because they have so much fear about what they can't control. And I think that a lot of us have pieces of that, as I do believe that we are human hybrids. I do believe that we are mixed with interdimensional DNA and whatever else. And so I do think that part of our ancestry, inherently in that, is the need to control, because that is not native to earth energy. When I work with earth energy, it's so whimsical. It's so like, I don't know what's going to happen. Who cares? The mother's always there. So why would I worry? And even if something bad happens, like whatever, the mother knows best. Mother knows best. Like, it's just such a deep trust, because they know that this planet is unconditional love, and unconditional love will never do something nefarious to you. And so the idea or the need to be in control, because that is what it is. When you want to know what's going to happen, you want to control. And that is coming from outside the planet. And so I just feel, I talk a lot in my membership about the hooks. And I've said that a few times on here too, but essentially the idea that we have a lot of influence that doesn't serve us anymore from the cosmos, wherever. And I think that as we're evolving spiritually and as the earth is evolving, that those energies are being seen and needing to be ripped out. And so the hook acts as sort of like an addiction, so you can dissociate instead of feeling the true pain of what's going on or the truth of what's going on. And that is true earth energy. Earth energy can sit into whatever needs to be sat into. It's, again, outside influence that makes us feel like, I want to run from that. I don't want to look at that. So I'm just going to doom scroll. I'm just going to go hang out with people. I'm just going to get attention from someone or whatever it is. to get from the external reality. So we're running from ourselves a lot. And it is time now to come back to ourselves and to sit with the truth of ourselves. And notice when you're sitting with the truth of yourself and then suddenly you want to go distract yourself and do something else. That is the survival mechanism built in. And so that's what I'm really feeling right now is we are in a moment of needing to surrender and trust in the divine energy and come back to true native earth energy, which is always that trust, surrender, deep connection, because that's always what we're trying to get. Anytime you're engaging in some kind of escapism, dissociation, addiction, it's all the absence of connection. And true connection, what we're seeking, can't be found in this physical reality. It can be reflected in this physical reality, but the truth of what we're seeking is only inside of ourselves, inside of the piece of us that is source, the piece of us that is the divine. So this is what I live by every day, and I try my best. Obviously, it's hard. Being a human's really hard. But the concept of knowing that source is within you, and your body is a temple of worship, essentially. Your body is a holy place, a holy house of source, of the Lord, of whatever word you want to use. God, source, the creator, the goddess. Your body is a temple that houses that energy, and it's made of that energy. And the more you can surrender to the concept of not something outside of yourself, not like a God outside of yourself, but the fact that like it's you, and so that's why you should trust it, because it's such a miracle. You know, the fact that you're here is such a miracle. I know y'all have been through a lot, and I have too, so I know it's hard to think of it that way sometimes. But just the concept of creation, the concept of turning matter into like physical form and expressing that. I mean, it's crazy when you think about it. And yeah, I just really feel this invitation to give to you of come back to the truth, which is the surrender, and not seeing change as a scary thing, but deepening into I trust in unconditional love. So wherever I'm being led to, like, it's got to be that. And if this resonates with you, I have a mini course called The Law of Allowing. It'll be in the description. And I talk a lot about trusting in the best probable outcome that's always happening, and actually how to like shift into that and how to trust and be in that. So that'll be there for you if you're interested. And yeah, you can come see me for a one-on-one. I have a bunch of different offers. That'll all be in the description. And yeah, that was what wanted to come through today. I feel complete on this side. Please let me know how you felt about it. Leave a comment if it resonated with you. Once again, please interact, like, subscribe, all of that. Thank you so much. And if you're new, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we do messages like this. Sometimes I just channel. Sometimes I speak from the heart. Sometimes it's a topic I'm interested in or I'm thinking of lately. And then Tuesday, Thursday is a YouTube exclusive pick a card reading, or a pick a number, pick a crystal, whatever it is. So hope to see you more and more and more. I love to see the same names commenting and liking and all of that. I love this community, and I so cherish each and every one of you. And I thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.